What's up, guys? This is Ibanez, and before we get into the battle, I just wanted to thank you guys for the response I got on my last video. It came as a complete surprise to me. I got over 40 likes on it, and so give yourself a pat on the back, and let's see if we can hit 30 likes this time, and I'm pretty sure we can, seeing how much likes we got last video. But anyways, today I'm going to be bringing you guys some UU, and this is not just any UU. This is probably the most competitive match I've ever had in UU, and I'm glad that the internet didn't DC or something unlucky happened, because this was just a really great battle. Literally, the reason why this battle is 12 minutes long is because more than half the battle is double switching and predicting and a lot of next level stuff. Basically, had this battle against my good friend Amir. He goes by the name GearFlow, and he's a very good battler. And I was looking for some UU, and he decided to do UU. So yeah, so he's gonna lead off with his Flygon. I'm gonna lead off with my Bronzong, and he's just gonna switch out right away and not go for U-turn. I was wondering about that early on. I was like, So I'm just gonna go for the Gyro Ball because I didn't want to go for Stealth Rocks on the off chance that this Xatu comes in. And here, I'm going to switch out into my Victini on the off chance he goes out into his Roserade, predicting my Zapdos. He actually goes for the Toxic, though, so it's unfortunate, but now I can't get status otherwise, such as Paralysis, which could be annoying for Victini. So now I know he's going to want to switch out into his Quillfish, because Quillfish is a pretty good wall for Victini. So he's going to get the Intimidate off, and I'm just going to go for the U-turn so I can switch out into Zapdos. So he kind of just allowed me to switch in Zapdos for free, and if you looked at his team is really weak to Zapdos, which will help me out in this match. So he's going to get his leftovers, recovery, and whatnot, and now he's going to switch out into his Bronzong, and as you will see here, this is why Zapdos is such a big threat. This Thunderbolt has a chance of 2-hit KOing this Bronzong, which is really bad for him. So he's just going to leave in his Bronzong for Death Fodder as I go for the Heat Wave, and that's going to take him out. So early on, he's already lost his Bronzong, which he could have used to take on my Crocodile, but, you know, well, I guess he needed it for Death Fodder. So now he's going to send in his Heracross, and, okay, you just sending in a Heracross on a Zapdos. The Choice Scarf was pretty obvious, so now I'm going to switch out into my Bronzong as he goes for the Stone Edge. So, I mean, that was pretty obvious, though. It's just like sending in a Heracross on a Zapdos. So here, he's going to switch out into his Xatu, and I'm going to double switch out into my Blastoise, because he really can't touch me at all, and I just kind of want to get the Scald Burn off. So now he's going to switch out into his Roserade, and yet again, I'm going to make a double switch out into my Victini. So I'm really taking advantage with the offensive momentum right now, because V-Create just does so much damage to his team. But I know he's going to be switching out into this Flygon, so instead of going for V-Create, I'm actually going to go for the Zen Headbutt. This is a banded Victini, by the way, because I have a banded Victini and a Scarf Crocodile on my team. So now I'm going to switch out because I'm expecting him to go for like Earthquake or something. But he's actually going to switch out into his Xatu to take the Zen Headbutt, because this thing looks to be physically defensive, seeing as how well it took my Gyro Ball. So now I'm going to be forced to switch out because, you know, it's a Xatu and it kind of walls me. He's going to switch in his Roserade as I'm going to switch out and send in my Crocodile. Now, if he's defensive, then Earthquake won't KO, but he can't KO me. But if he's an attacking set, I'll KO with Earthquake anyway. So he's going to be forced to switch out into his Heracross, which takes the Earthquake pretty well. But now that I know that this Heracross is Scarfed, Bronzong and Blastoise can deal with it pretty well. But here he's going to double switch into his Flygon. Now, here's where I don't really know what set this Flygon is running. It actually kind of confused me, because as you saw earlier in the battle, he didn't go for the U-turn, he just switched out. So I was really wondering what item he was running, or set. So he switches into Roserade, and I just went for the Scald because I wanted to play it safe. I get a crit, which doesn't really matter. So I'm going to switch out into my Bronzong as he's going to go for the Sludge Bomb, and now I'm going to be back up to full health after I get my leftovers recovery. So right now, my little core is kind of walling his team. So he's going to set up the spikes, and I'm going to go for the Gyro Ball, because letting Xatu come in for free and bounce Stealth Rocks back could be bad for me, mainly because I took out his Bronzong. So if I play it correctly, he won't be getting up Stealth Rocks this battle. So I'm going to predict him to go out and do his Xatu, predicting me to go for Stealth Rocks, and I'm going to double switch out into my Zapdos. So once again, one of the biggest threats to his team has just gotten a free switch into him. So now he's going to be switching out into his Flygon, and this is where I wish I could have gotten up Stealth Rocks, because I go for the Heat Wave and it just barely lives. I was just like, aw, man. So now I really got to switch out, but I still don't know what set he's running. So now I'm sitting here wondering, but he goes for the Roost, and I'm like, oh my gosh. He actually told me later on in the match, though, that this was actually a plus special attack nature, because you will see later on this is actually a special attacking Flygon. But here, I'm going to go for the Stealth Rock, predicting him to not send in his Xatu, and I'm going to be able to get at my Stealth Rocks, so that's no problem. He's going to send in his Quillfish, as I'm just going to go for the Gyro Ball, and of course it's not going to do that much. But anyways, back to the Flygon set. Because he was a special attacking, boosting nature, I would have actually been able to outspeed and KO him with Zapdos, but I didn't know at the time, so, you know. So here, I make my own misplay, and I'm going to send in a Crocodile straight into a stab-boosted Waterfall. And the reason why I did that is because, actually, I don't really know why I did. I thought he would predict my switch out into Zapdos. Now here, I make another bad play, and I go for the Crunch. I do get a critical hit, but the reason why it doesn't really matter is because Zapdos is at very high health, and I can easily just take him out anyways. But I guess that kind of sucks for him. Oh, and he gets a crit here of his own, too. So, yeah. So now, I'm going to be sending out my Zapdos, and because, like, the only thing that the crit helped me with is easing prediction, because now I can go for the Hidden Power Grass, and it'll KO Quillfish, or if he switches out into Flygon, it'll probably KO that. I'm not really sure. Now, I still don't know if this is a plus speed or a plus special attack boosting nature, and I calc this, and it has a chance to KO, but I really can't risk it at this point. So here's where I switch into my Bronzong, and he goes for the Draco Meteor, and I was like, well, that was kind of unexpected, because he hadn't even revealed the Life Orb yet. I really did not know what item he was. But that does nothing to my specially defensive Bronzong. So now he's going to switch out, and he's going to go into his Heracross. And I go for the Toxic because I thought that he would just Roost again, because I know that I can't KO him with Gyro Ball. But in comes this Heracross. Now, I don't run physical defense EVs, and I'm not even at full health. So right here, I calced how much close combat would do with Guts, and I had a chance to live, and I just barely live with 18 HP, and I'm going to be able to take out this Heracross. So there's a big threat out of the way, because Guts boosted Scarf, that could be really problematic for later on. Now, I've got a low HP Bronzong, which is pretty bad. So now he's going to be able to send in his Xatu, and I'm going to proceed to switch out into my Zapdos again, and he's going to go for the Nightshade. So now I know that his set is probably Roost, Nightshade, Toxic. Has he even revealed his last move? I don't even think he has. Now here is where I get forced to make some predictions. I expected him to switch out into his Flygon to take the Thunderbolt, but he just stays in. So now I'm like, crud. And now he's going to go for the Nightshade again. But it's just because he's forcing me to over-predict, because I can't afford to let that Flygon switch in for free. So here I go for the Hidden Power Grass, and he stays in. I was like, oh man. So it's not going too well for me right now, because he's going to be able to get off a Toxic on me. And now my Zapdos is going to be worn down pretty quickly. And I was thinking about saving this thing for late game, but, you know, it's not going to happen now. But here, I am done over predicting. I was just like, alright, if he switches, it doesn't matter. This Xatu needs to be taken out. And I can't afford to lose my Zapdos like this. So I'm going to be able to take out his Xatu. Now, all he has left is his Roserade and his Flygon, but here's where it gets a bit sketchy. Because here's payback for the crit that I got on his Quillfish earlier. I'm actually going to go for the Heat Wave, and I'm going to miss. And he's going to go for the Sludge Bomb, and he's going to take me out. And that is really bad for me, because now I'm going to be forced to switch into my Victini and go for the V-Create. And that's just going to allow him a free switch into his Flygon, so it's not really looking too good for me right now. So I'm going to go for the V-Create. I'm going to be easily able to demolish his Roserade. Now all he's got left is his Flygon. Now while I still have 4 Pokemon left, they really do not take on a special attacking Flygon well. So he's going to send in his Flygon, and I'm going to switch out into my Bronzong. And you know what he does? He is going to go for the Roost on me, which really sucks because this was just really game-changing right here, because now he's going to get his HP back up, and my Victini can't OHKO him. It's just really bad. So he's going to be able to take me out with the Fire Blast right here, and now all I've got left is Victini, Blastoise, and Kingdra. So I'm going to send out my Kingdra right here, which I should have done a lot earlier in the battle, but I'm going to mess with them a bit here because I'm going to switch out my Kingdra because I know that Blastoise can easily start walling him at a -2 Draco Meteor. So I'm going to switch into my Victini to die, but he actually misses the Draco Meteor. And I guess it really sucks for him, but it kind of just sped up the battle because we both agreed that I would have just walled him with Blastoise later on. And check that out! This freaking Flygon just does not want to die this game. But here's where I kind of figured out that he was actually a plus special attacking nature. So early on, I might have been able to just send in my Zapdos and take him out anyways, but, you know, oh well. So, very great game, Amir. We really need to have one of these again sometime. We each made our own mistakes. There was a lot of predicting. We mispredicted. We made some crazy predictions, and all in all, definitely one of the greatest UU matches I've had. Hope you guys enjoy. Feel free to leave a like if you enjoyed, and yeah, it's a UU match on Wi-Fi. See you guys next time.